This is the synthetic signal report for Saturday, April 11th, 2026, in the morning. Today's analysis examines the safe return of the Artemis Two mission and France's strategic decision to replace Windows with Linux across government systems. We look at new official guidelines for using artificial intelligence in the Linux kernel and the public release of industrial design files for Keychron keyboards. This report also covers the regulatory rejection of Replimune's skin cancer drug and a new technical framework for scaling blockchain economies to solar-powered hardware in remote environments. The Artemis Two mission has successfully concluded with a safe splashdown in the Pacific Ocean. This marks the first time in over 50 years that a crewed spacecraft has returned from the lunar vicinity. The capsule, carrying 4 astronauts, executed a precision re-entry, testing the thermal protection systems and parachute deployment sequences under real-world conditions. This recovery is a milestone for the Artemis program as it transitions toward a sustained human presence on the Moon. Beyond the flight dynamics, the mission served as a platform for deep space biological research. Scientists at SNOLAB have been monitoring the crew's radiation exposure to compare it with data gathered from deep underground laboratories on Earth. These findings are critical for understanding how the human body reacts to long-term cosmic ray exposure outside the protection of Earth's magnetic field. The successful recovery of the crew and their datasets provides the technical foundation for the upcoming Artemis 3 landing attempt. The French government has announced a formal plan to migrate its entire administrative infrastructure from Windows to Linux. Officials cited the reliance on United States technology as a strategic risk, particularly concerning data sovereignty and national security. This move is a direct response to the structural reach of the Cloud Act and FISA 702, which allow American authorities to access data held by United States corporations, regardless of where that data is physically stored. France is prioritizing the use of open-source software to ensure that its internal communications and citizen data remain under domestic control. This transition is not merely a software swap, but a systemic shift in procurement. It involves retooling thousands of government workstations and servers to run on localized distributions. Analysts suggest this could trigger a broader European trend as other nations evaluate the trade-offs between the convenience of integrated software ecosystems and the security requirements of sovereign states. In a significant update to the software development lifecycle, the Linux kernel maintainers have published a formal policy regarding the use of artificial intelligence coding assistants. The documentation, appearing in the main repository, outlines how contributors should interact with tools like Copilot or Claude Code. The guidelines emphasize that while AI can assist in generating boilerplate code, the human contributor remains legally and technically responsible for the entire submission. The policy requires that all AI-assisted code undergo rigorous manual review to prevent the introduction of subtle logic errors or security vulnerabilities. This development follows community concerns that automated tools often lack a deep understanding of kernel-level memory management and concurrency. The maintainers are specifically watching for hallucinated function calls that could compromise the stability of the core operating system. Keychron has officially released the industrial design files for its line of keyboards and mice on GitHub. This release includes the mechanical drawings and structural specifications for several popular models. This is a grounded move toward hardware transparency, allowing users and third-party manufacturers to study the physical architecture of the devices. By making these files public domain, Keychron is enabling a more robust right-to-repair ecosystem. Users can now use 3D printing and precision machining to create replacement parts or custom modifications with factory-level accuracy. This level of detail is rare in the consumer electronics space, where industrial designs are typically guarded as trade secrets. It highlights a shift toward a more collaborative relationship between hardware vendors and the enthusiast community, focusing on the longevity and modularity of physical tools. The Food and Drug Administration has once again rejected a promising skin cancer drug from Replimune. This drug candidate had become a flashpoint for regulatory debate as it represented a new approach to treating advanced melanoma. The rejection follows a second attempt at approval, with the agency citing a need for more comprehensive data on long-term efficacy and safety. This failure has significant implications for Replimune's clinical pipeline and the broader oncology sector. The drug was designed to use a modified virus to directly attack tumor cells while stimulating the immune system. The FDA's decision suggests that the bar for innovative immunotherapies remains high, requiring clear evidence of benefit over existing standard of care treatments. Replimune will now need to conduct additional large-scale trials to address the technical concerns raised by the reviewers. This is a signal from the future. A new proposal for based Nano-Chains aims to scale on-chain economies to highly constrained Internet of Things devices. This is an under-the-radar development because it addresses what researchers call the Sahara modem constraint. Traditional blockchain designs assume high-speed internet and abundant memory. Nano-Chains, however, are built for devices operating over low-bandwidth satellite links or mesh networks with speeds as low as 64 kilobits per second. By using advanced cryptographic logs and optimized consensus logic, these chains allow battery-powered sensors in remote industrial sites to maintain a secure, sovereign record of data without the massive overhead of traditional systems. This technology could enable fully autonomous resource management in environments where traditional digital infrastructure is non-existent. The community is currently tracking a leaked zero-day exploit for Windows 11 called Blue Hammer. This flaw exploits a race condition in system update workflows, allowing a standard user to gain full system privileges. Because there is no patch yet, administrators are advised to monitor for unusual volume shadow copy activity. In hardware security, a critical remote code execution vulnerability has been discovered in the Sonos Era 300. The flaw exists in the latest update's handling of the SMB protocol and allows a kernel-level compromise without authentication. Users are urged to restrict network access to these devices until a fix is released. The Glassworm malware campaign is also evolving, now targeting the Visual Studio Code ecosystem. It uses a specialized dropper to infect multiple development environments, potentially compromising the software supply chain at the source. In the tools space, the Fireworks Tech Graph has gained significant traction. It is a new skill for AI agents that generates production-quality technical diagrams in various styles. Finally, the physical impact of the energy crisis is visible in Ireland, where fuel protests have blocked major depots, leaving 4 out of 10 gas stations without diesel or petrol. This concludes the Synthetic Signal Report for Saturday.